Hello guys, this is Dan with Dano's Trains. Like many people, I was watching a video about 2 weeks ago, and the fella's talking about handling your locomotives, and the more you handle them, the more they get dirty and grease off your fingers, or they just get dirty. So what he's saying to avoid that is to handle them less. So that made sense. So I got a roundhouse down here. This is, as far as I know, this is an Atlas roundhouse. I built this about 8 years ago. I don't know if there's such thing as outdated or not, but I have just recently ordered this N-scale Atlas turntable. It's very simple. There's your power for your track, and this little guy over here turns the table around 15 degrees every turn. Okay, now they say that this table is 7.5-inch radius. Fine, fantastic. Now, what I'm not understanding is that you take this Atlas turnhouse, and this is not 7.5. It's not made for a 7.5-inch turntable. I've never done this before, but I assume they were supposed to line. You see the way in the corners? It doesn't work unless there's another turntable for N-scale that is a little larger than this one. So 7.5, you'd almost need, I don't know, I'm thinking 12-inch radius to fit on each track on this turnout, on this roundhouse. So I'm not about to buy another roundhouse. So what I thought I'd do here to save the project, and I paid, by the time I got this from Amazon, it was 75 bucks. A lot of money. I should have went to my local hobby shop, but I was lazy. So what I'm thinking of doing is, as I mentioned before, there'll be a track running through here and over around the other side and back. And then my train yard is over here on this table here. This will have obviously foam on it. And what I was thinking of doing is basically lay out the roundhouse here. Then I would take the turntable and put it away, like down here somewhere. And then run track from this side to the roundhouse. And or get some turnout or something in here and split it to 2 tracks, meaning I only have to put one lead off the turntable. Very simple system. It seems to work. The only thing is I thought it would butt up to my roundhouse, but this is about 8 years old. Now they put little brass track rails in there. And all the ones I've seen on YouTube so far, they actually have a groove to fit the whole track inside the roundhouse, all the way to the back. So, yeah, so that's what's happening here. It's a nice little building. Definitely deep enough to hold almost any locomotive you throw in there. And yeah, that's what I'm going to have to figure out. So if anybody has any opinion on why, they must have changed the style of their roundhouses. That's all I can think of. Because the only track here is those little tracks that you glue them inside of the roundhouse on the bottom here. And you're supposed to be able to. Now I notice all the ones on YouTube, they all kiss the edge of the turntable. So for some reason they'll all fit. Now I got problems. My doors don't meet up with this. They're in the way and I can't get the roundhouse against it. So I know this is an Atlas turntable. I just bought it. Okay. This may not be an Atlas roundhouse. This may be Atheron's roundhouse, which means it's quite possible that the radius needed for this roundhouse is not this radius, not this turntable. But I paid for it, and what I'm going to do is use FlexTrack to go from the roundhouse to the turntable. Because I know if you take the track and put it right in there, that obviously fits right here and butts up with the track. So that's not a problem. So what I think I'll do to make all this work is set this down here somewhere, run leads and a splitter here somewhere, and then make them attached to the roundhouse. So basically I come here and come out this way and back in, and I do the same thing here, go out and back in, and then the two in the middle can come out and then hook up to the round table. Yeah. Now I also notice some people have the turntable there and they don't have a roundhouse. Or they'll have a roundhouse for two locomotives and they'll run the two tracks into the roundhouse and all the other tracks just go out on the table. And that's where you store your trains until you want to go and get one and bring it on the track and away you go. Yeah. Now I want to get the electric motor for this too. That's another $60. So you're going to be into it, I don't know, about $120. Still cheaper than Cato's turntable. By the time you get everything you need for their table, it's about $550. But this is very simple, very simple turntable. And all I needed is for it to work. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have track coming off the turntable without a roundhouse and figure out what I'm going to do here to see if it's feasible in the first place to run track out from there without them getting all mushy, because then they'll have to be coming out and twisting to get around the turntable, right? So they'll come in and back out to the turntable, like that kind of S shape. I don't know if I like that. Or I don't use this at all. I just set up the turntable and then run track out to be able to house as many trains as I can and have a one-track lead in from the main line. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20. You can run 20 leads off this. And then one lead to come in so you're off the main line. So I might do that. It'd be a lot easier than I think getting track and twisting it in and out just to try to work it around the turntable. Obviously, if you take one lead off here, you set it up this way, you know, you can come out almost center to the table. That would be easy. You can probably take the outside one, come out slightly and hook up again over here. But the more you try to get the roundhouse to attach to this, the further away the roundhouse has to be in order to make those turns. Now, does it make any sense to do this, to make it this far apart and use all 6 bays? Like, I've never used this before. I built it, and it's like brand new. I never used it. I know I overhauled it a couple of weeks ago. It looks a lot better than it did. But I'm thrown off by the fact that the radius of this table does not work on the radius of the roundhouse. So This could be an Atherans, like I say. I don't remember. All the ones I see on YouTube that are showing the Atlas table fit their roundhouse. So I'm assuming all their roundhouse is an Atlas kit. So, yeah. I just don't know what to do here. I mean, I got options. I know what to do. There's options. So I didn't take into account that this would be a different radius, or even what goes on this. No idea. Well, I'm not stuck or anything. I'm just figuring what's the best way to do this. I got 4 foot wide of table here, but I don't want to go too far on that side because that's where going to be my rail yard. Like I say, I'm going to go around the outside and right through back here. And all the train yard's going to be over there on that brown table, right there. And then I guess I'll commit this, or at least most of it, to this turntable. Now, mind you, I only have 1 locomotive right now, so it's not like I need a whole bunch of stuff going on here. I just thought it'd be nice to have a turntable, so when you bring your train down here and you want to turn it around, you put it on your turntable here, and you start turning this little handle here. It's kind of neat the way they make it do that. And it stops every 15 degrees. Pick up your train. Thank you very much. And get it turned around and out you go. But definitely it works really good by hand. But if you want to go halfway around to pick up a train and come, you're going to sit here and doing this for a long time. You see that? It takes time for that to rotate. So you kind of have to get the electric. The electric is just easier in your hands, and you just hit the button, it'll just keep on going and cut the juice out when you got it on the track you want to pick up. Type of thing. Yeah. Yes. Crazy business. Like I used to have, I got a switch. This is an old switch. I just thought about it. What is his name on this? That looks like Atlas. Oh, okay, well, Atlas. Cool. Where did I pick those up? Separate? I don't remember. It's been too long. So this is kind of what I wanted to show you tonight, guys. Yeah. What to do. Now I was considering painting the surface a flat brown color. Tape off the track and just paint the dark brown color. A lighter brown like wood. But I'm not in a hurry to worry about that right now. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do here. Am I going to be able to use that? Am I going to be able to use this roundhouse? You see, it's the right height. Diameter's too small. Okay. The end of the month, I'll be picking up, 10, 11 lengths of Flex Track, some more adapters for the Kato track, so I can put the Flex Track Code 80 on the end of the Kato track. Now, I've decided to stop buying Kato track. The Flex Track is a lot cheaper. I'm probably saving $8 a length. And it's a little bit more flexible to work with, I'll admit it. So if you've got to do weird things like this and bend track to make it work, you got the freedom to do so, but you do not have that freedom with the Kato track. You basically got to use their radiuses and make it work out in the long run. My last setup was all N-gauge track, and I just ran it where I want. So The Kato has enough radiuses. It's just a little bit more restrictive, I think, than using FlexTrack. Because if you change your mind and you want to do a dip in here and come back up for some reason, and the measurements just doesn't come up on a Kato track, well, the FlexTrack will do the job. Now, I'm not knocking the Kato product at all. It's just that if you go on Amazon, it's $4 more expensive per package than going to your local hobby shop. Now, the problem I'm having with the hobby shop, okay, they're having problems stocking the Kato track. So I've been there 2 weeks in a row to check stuff out, and they have very little Kato track choices, or even some in stock. And they got a lot of the little doodads and stuff. But I went in there for the 9 3/4 inch straight packages. You get 4 in a package. Nothing. But he has a ton of FlexTrack. So I'm switching to FlexTrack as far as I can tell from here on in. The cork for the FlexTrack is only $2 a length. That sounds pretty good to me. And it's about $8 for a length of FlexTrack, which I think is 36 inch or something like that, 35. So for $9, I can set up 4 sections of Kato 9 3/4. You can't beat the price, but I'm just trying to get track laid down as fast as I can, and it seems to be the way to go right now is FlexTrack. Now I need more switches and stuff, and definitely I'll be using Kato switches. What I have is this here. They call these number 6 electrified. You can't adjust them or anything. I tested them out. They seem to work okay. But I haven't had them electrified to work on a track with switches, which I got to set up. So what I was thinking, if I could take this here, set it up so get a FlexTrack and run from these two and go into this switch, right? And then I can go from here with FlexTrack and attach it to the turntable. Okay. This means I would only have 3 leads coming off of here instead of 6. And I'll have switches for 2. I come in here and want to use stall number 2. I just hit the switch. Train will go to stall number 2. So that's one solution. FlexTracking it to here. FlexTracking this one to here, regardless of where this is going to go. And then the FlexTrack from the back to the turntable. So I'd only need 3 slots on this table to use instead of 6, and still being able to feed them into my 6 stalls of this particular turntable. So that's all I got for you this evening. I just wanted to share this with you and give you a rundown where I'm at here with this. I haven't done any work here for 2 weeks. I had to take a break. I don't want to turn it into a work, if you know what I mean. I'm supposed to be having enjoyment, fun. I have sometimes a bad habit of pushing hard. But this might work. Running 3 switches, 6 leads to the switches and 3 leads to the turntable, and possibly I can run, coming off the main line will be 1 track, and then maybe another one coming from somewhere else, so I can access the turntable from different points in this area here, instead of just committing to one shot to come in, train to go back out that shot. I'll give myself maybe another track going up, joining into my rolling stock yard, so I can jump maybe from the yard with a loco and cut across, turntable, put it away, and then bring another loco, and then go on my way. So this is what it's all about, man, trying to solve problems. So far I'm happy with the turntable. I can't complain. Yeah. Let's see here. You know, it's too bad that the manufacturer doesn't put their name on their equipment like this. At least then, if you want to go back for reference, and you've had it for so long, and you may not remember the brand, which is quite possible, and then you can refer back to it. I assume this was an Atlas, and I don't think it is. Turntable would fit if it was an Atlas, right? Wow. Fun and games here. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. I got 5 subscribers. Yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully you stick around for a little bit more, and we'll do some more stuff together here and push onwards. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for my 5 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I know you've heard that 1,000 times, but it's the only thing I can say. Thank you very much. And I'll try to keep you entertained. You have a good evening now.